Good evening. Hello, and welcome back to 15 Minutes of Fame with Dawn Branch. Tonight's guest is Lady Yolanda Wyns, and she is the chair of music at Harlem School of the Arts. She's a music educator, a vocalist, mom, you name it. But before we get to meet Lady Yolanda Wyns, I want to just, again, thank all of the viewers for tuning in. I want to thank my day ones, Diane, Donna, Erica. Hi, Delva. I hope you're watching. Patrice. I don't want to say your last name. I'm just trying to give little shout outs to everyone who I know supports me and sends me wonderful little comments. My cousin Deirdre, I hope you're watching. Holla. So again, I just want to thank everyone on this new venture that I'm doing. Today's topic is we're going to talk about support and how important it is to support one another, because unfortunately our guest will expand on this, but unfortunately sometimes in our society we get so nervous about helping someone thinking it's going to hurt us, when in actuality it really is an exchange system, and if you help someone will help you. And I want to give a shout out to the gentleman that helps me all the time. He is a husband of my friend, Shatanya, and his name is Kevin. And he runs all the stuff behind the scenes. And I want to say thank you, Kevin, for supporting your wife, supporting the arts. And he has a new venture that he's going to do. He's going to open up the business to help other creatives as myself who want to put together documentaries, who want to put together infomercials, whatever it is, he is there. And he's awesome. He's the nicest guy. He's professional, always on time. Rates are really good. I want to discount for saying that. But support each other, guys, because we need each other, especially during these times. Okay, so without further ado, got to get my music going. Are you ready for Miss Lady Yolanda Wyns? Hit it! Ho! Hey, here she goes, here she goes, here she goes. It's Yolanda Wyns, 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 Wyns. Yes, I always wanted to be a rapper. I actually had a rap group with Nicole. I won't say her last name, for Rochdale. But anyway, that's a long story. Welcome, Yolanda. And the audience goes wild. Hello. Uh-oh.
How are you?
Audio again. There you go. Gotcha. Yay.
How are you?
Welcome. Good. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for the invitation.
Yes. Did you recognize the artist?
Oh, absolutely. Stephanie Mills.
Oh, do you know Stephanie Mills?
Yes.
Do you know Stephanie? We'll get into that later. But before we start, I always ask my guests, who is Yolanda Wyns? And go.
Friend.
Aww.
Supporter, encourager, musician, educator.
Boom. Here it is. Say no more. Educator. You better say with a capital E. So before you became all of Lady Yolanda Wyns, let's start from the beginning with your career. Now, it says here that you started when you were 4 years old. So who found your gift? Like, how did that even start?
Well, have my parents tell it. I came out the womb singing instead of crying. So, I have to take their word for it. I always had a passion for singing. I mean, I always sang. As long as I can remember, I was humming, singing something. Um, and my father was a singer, so I know it's in the gene. I take it after him. Um, but who noticed the gift? Um, I think my parents were aware of the gift. Singing in church, you got the gift, you got the talent. But I think who actually noticed the gift was someone back in elementary school.
Okay.
um, and asked me to be a part of the Glee Club in elementary school, Concord Baptist Elementary School, in Brooklyn. It was a private school.
Mhm.
And it was under the direction of Gardner C. Taylor and Miss Laura Taylor. And their director of music was Mr. Logan. I don't even know how I'm remembering these names, but they're coming up.
Mhm.
And he had what was called Glee Club. And you joined Glee Club in the fourth grade, fourth, fifth, and sixth grade was Glee Club. But he saw the talent in me in the second grade, really the first grade. And he says, well, we don't normally have, the students in Glee Club until the fourth grade, but I want you in there. And, he had me in Glee Club since the second grade. After elementary school, it's like everywhere I went as far as schools, there was that angel that saw the gift and nurtured the gift. So in elementary school, it was Mr. Logan. In middle school, uh, Philippa Schuyler, shout out, another Brooklyn uh, area school. Miss Loretta Boyce was the principal, and Mr. Roy Prescott was the music teacher that saw the gift, but not only saw the gift, demanded more out of me. He knew I had so much more in me.
Mhm.
So he was the one that taught me how to read music, become a musician, not just a good singer,
Okay.
but that musician where I was reading music, I was understanding the history of music. So we did rhythmic dictation, we did solfege, all those things. And he really pushed me to be my best self as
Mhm.
a vocalist, as a musician. And then, of
Now,
course,
was he?
high school. Um,
Well, that's what I was going to ask you. Was he the one who advised you to go to music and art?
yes, he was the person that um, prepared me for the audition. I mean, it's funny because yes, he prepared me, but I think I came to him and said I wanted to audition for Music and Art, the Fame School, because we saw the movie.
Right.
And it's interesting because I give Anthony Evans a lot of credit because I remember that scene where he was directing the choir, and it was something about that scene. And I didn't make the connection that that was the real Music and Art and
Mhm.
the real students. The other ones were actors. They didn't attend the school. It was about the school, but
Mhm.
the real students. Anthony Evans and the gospel choir of that time were the real students. And I remember connecting with that scene in that moment and saying, I want to be a part of that school. And I did mention it to Mr. Prescott. Shout out to Nadelka Prescott. It's her father. I don't know if you remember Nadelka Prescott, but she went to Music and Art. She was a year under us.
Okay.
And so, yeah, he prepared me for the audition and
Mhm.
got into Music and Art. And then my mentor there was Miss Anna Ext.
Okay.
Woo! And this was a short, little old woman with a lot of gusto. And she taught me classical music and an appreciation for classical music and opera.
Yep.
And uh, She was my vocal instructor, and it's so funny. She never sang a lick. She would grunt, and she had this crooked finger, and she'd point at you, you know, but never sang. But she could get the music out of me. She could get the sound out of me. And so she mentored me. She, you know, exposed me to the classical.
I have a question about that. Now, I know in the dance department, we have certain teachers that have ins with, let's say, companies like Alvin Ailey or Dancing in Harlem. Would she be that person that would say, okay, I see something in you. I'm going to send you to this agent or to this. I don't know what that would be, like to get you on the right track to get recording contracts. Or
No, she wasn't that person. She was still the educator. She was still, if I could put it this way loosely, the disciplinarian. You know, she pushed me sometimes where I thought she was hard on me.
Can you give me an example? Give me an example, because we have a lot of students who watch this, and as you as an educator know, you kind of want them to know where you got this from, like, because we are our teachers. So give me an example of what she would do to you.
Well, okay, so we would have to prepare a song and sing it for the class, and I would prepare the song, and in all honesty, I could hear things and could sing it back. I didn't necessarily know how to read it, but because I had such a phenomenal ear, I would be able to sing it exactly how it was, how I heard it. And she says, well, how hard did you, how often did you work on this? I said, oh, I worked hard on this. I worked hard on this. And she exposed me. And she said, okay, let's start from second page, second stem, and the third measure. And I was like, what? Oh God. I didn't understand what she was asking me, and I couldn't read it to start there, and she basically exposed me, 1 second, I'm in mommy mode. Yes. Hello. You going to bed? Okay. Have a good night. All right. I love you.
Bye. We love you.
Okay.
Can she say hi or no?
Yeah, she say good night. Okay. Yeah, sure. Layla, you want to say hello to the people? Come say hello. She's in her little nightgown.
On Instagram. Everybody loves you on Instagram. Aw, hi. I'm Miss Dawn. I want to teach you dance class one day. Hi. We love you. We see you every day on Instagram. And I love your purple outfit with your jacket and your hat.
Oh, she
That's my favorite color.
And your purple hat. Is that your favorite color?
Yes.
Yes.
So
all right. Well, have a good night, okay?
Nice school tomorrow.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Okay. Bye. Have a good night.
Thank you. So cute. How old is she?
Okay, I'm coming. What was that?
I said, how old is she now?
13. She will be 14 in January.
Okay. We'll talk about her at the end of the show. I want to know all about what she's doing, how she's doing in school. I want the whole thing. But okay, so Miss, this is her last name is this Prescott? Is this Miss Prescott?
EXT, Miss Anna X.
Anna X.
In music and art.
Is she still there, you think?
She passed away maybe 6 years ago, 5-6 years ago. I did go to the her service, I guess synagogue. She was Jewish. We kept a relationship. That's how much she invested in me. We would become friends, and she supported me. And I think she was like 98 when she passed.
Amazing.
So we had a still a continued relationship even after high school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So okay. So I want to go on to that. But was there anyone else in your school as a teacher, educator that you want to discuss and
Yeah.
who helped you?
After high school, in college, I had.
Wait, you skipped high school. I meant in high school because I want to talk about how.
No. High school was Honor X.
Say that again.
High school was Miss Honor X.
Yes. Was there any other teacher or any other influence while you were in high school that you
Oh,
wanted to
got you. Well, yes, I was a part of the All City High School chorus, so I have to give a shout out to Mr. John Motley, and Anna X also was one of the adjunct teachers there. I also need to give a shout out to Miss Edith Del Val. She was the chair of the music department at Music and Art. And she eventually took over for Mr. Motley when he retired for All City. Mr. Motley, he was a hard teacher. But he pushed us to be our best, and because of that, we were sought after choir to do TV, events, you name it. All City High School Chorus was.
So you did both the high school, because LaGuardia, I remember that's where I met you at LaGuardia when the two schools, high school performing arts, merged. Did all the teachers come over there with you, or did you have different? Okay.
Yeah, Miss Honor X came over. Of course, Miss Del Val. We had Miss Ellis, Miss Buchanan. All of these teachers were.
Yes, Miss Ellis. Yes. Yep. Okay.
And all of them have gone on. They're angels, ancestors now.
So Miss Ellis danced at my dance studio. That's how I remember her.
Okay.
What else I want to say about high school? Gospel choir. So you see yourself. Did you get your vision? Did you join the gospel choir? You saw it.
Oh, absolutely. And I remember Miss X giving me a hard time about that. She was like, if you're going to be an educated singer, you cannot be in gospel chorus. It's just so bad for your voice. And I had to check her, and I had to say, you know what, Miss X? This is a part of my culture. This is where I come from. This is how I worship. This is how I give praise.
You better be that diva at 17. Delva, this is for you, Delva. Delva told me to put these sunglasses every time you do that.
Oh, that's funny. But, we had to have that conversation.
Yes. I love you.
No, we had to have that conversation.
So tell me,
to have that conversation.
How would that mess your voice up singing gospel? What is it that she didn't want you to do?
Well, most vocal instructors will say that it's harsh singing on your voice because it's emotional singing. And when you're emotional, when you sing through your emotions, you tend to push, you tend to strain. And in the gospel church, I mean, some have changed now because I've been doing workshops in the church, but no one warms up before a church service. And some churches have 3 and 4 services. So, it's like a 7:00 service. You wake up and you start singing, and you're at the top of your lungs praising and worshiping. And that's what she was accustomed to. She didn't know. She was unaware of the gospel music. And she just thought, by the way a lot of people were singing, that it was just unhealthy for the voice. And she saw me to be a classical singer, and she thought I was going to damage my voice. And she was very motherly in trying to, persuade me not to do gospel chorus. But I had to figure out a way to do both because.
So what was your schedule like? You did school from like 8 a.m. to 3. And then what happened?
And then I did chamber singers with Miss X after school.
Okay.
And that would go till probably 4 or 5 after we get out from school. And then on Saturday, pretty much all day, we were rehearsing with All City Chorus and concert choir.
Oh, that's a full day.
Yeah.
And you did your homework. And you were almost like an A student.
Yeah, I was on the, dean's list, honor roll, dean's list. Yeah.
Amazing. Shout out to your parents too.
Yes. Yes.
You know what I mean? That's awesome.
Yes.
Okay, so before we get into what happened after high school, Kevin, I want to do a quick commercial break. So if we can just get that first commercial in, that'll be awesome. When we come back, Miss Lady Yolanda Wyns, we're going to talk about college.
Okay.
And notable people from music and art. I want to know who you know, famous.
Okay, cool. Sounds good.
And Kevin's going to take us to commercial. Or you want me to sing the commercial? Oh, Yolanda can sing a commercial.
Tonight's episode is sponsored by the following: TGI Virtual Fundraiser for Student Achievement Institute. Help them send 10 high school seniors to the program to help improve their college entrance exams, gain confidence, and strengthen their writing skills. Please donate GoFundMe/TGI Writing Fund. Next sponsors, All Things Centered, visiting allthingscentered.com and choose from a variety of essential oil blends, good for headaches, allergies, stress, and better moods. Get ready for your holiday shopping and order your foot scrubs and bath soaks for your favorite people in your life. Taking orders now at allthingscentered.com. Use code DANCE for free shipping. That's Entertainment. That's Entertainment is excited to celebrate 20 years this 2020 season. They are a competition and convention offering live and virtual events for dancers, singers, actors, models, and instrumentalists. By tuning in with Dawn Branch Live, you will receive a free virtual solo or $200 off your studio when you email info@that'sentertainmentpa.com with the code DBL20. Stephanie Mills presents Girls Night Out, a virtual vision board fundraiser party with special guest Melba Moore. Proceeds will benefit 444 Love Foundation. This special event is Saturday, December 12th. Info and tickets available at www.444love.org. InStyle Performance Wear is offering 25% off on all hair accessories. These are great for stocking stuffers, gifts, and of course, for classes and performances. Don't forget, Dawn Branch Works presents Winter Dance Intensive 2020 for levels intermediate and advanced, ages 11 and up. This event is Monday, December 28th and Tuesday, December 29th. From 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at Peaches Dance and Music Orlando.
Welcome back. I just wanted to show you guys, this is an example of when you order from the allessential.com, you get your oils wrapped up in this nice little gift bag and a nice little note. And they're good little stocking stuffers. So it's very professional and it smells good and it's very nice. Okay, so we're here with the Lady Yolanda Wyns, who is now the chair of music at Harlem School of the Arts. She's also performed on Broadway, and she's an educator of music. And we're here now getting ready to talk about people, famous people from music and art. So give us an idea of some famous people that we graduated with, or just that you know that are alumni.
Well, in our class, 86, yeah?
Mind your business. Boy, I don't know. I was class 2022.
Well, I'm not ashamed. I'm not ashamed.
Anyway.
When we look as good as we look, it does not matter, darling. Okay?
Amen. That's true. Thank you.
No, we need to embrace it, my dear. We need to embrace it, and I'm okay. But you can still hold on. It's all right. I am class of 86 and proud. In my class, it was Gina Torres, well-known actress. We have a lot of people that went on Broadway. Jason Page. We have Julia Murney, Wicked. Gosh, a lot of people. And then we have, off the top of my head, in art, visual art, we have Joshua Bua. Yeah. Dancers, we have Desmond Richardson. We have
Edgar. We have
Edgar. Yes. Yep.
Erica.
Yep. We got some.
She does what? Donna.
Yeah. I mean, we got. That's our class. And then if we keep going, we go down one year. We got Tashina Arnold. We got Carl Payne. We've got Troy Powell dancer. Yes, we have. Is his name Remo?
I don't know him. We also have Sean Baker Jones. He's coming on the
Sean
show.
Baker. Yeah. I mean, we got and the thing about LaGuardia / music and art, performing arts, is that there's just a list of people that come out of
it. Cedric. Sorry.
You see, the list goes on and on.
Yeah. How about Changing Faces? Remember them?
Yep, I do.
Mark Pitts.
Yeah.
Anyway, so if you're
the list goes on.
Either Lady Yolanda Wyns or Dawn Branch or Obadiah Wright or Nasha Thomas, I could go on. You are like in great company. That's it. All right, so very good. So now let's talk about Juilliard versus your college that you chose to go to, which is the Manhattan School of Music. Now, Juilliard was right across the street from our high school. And that's one of the reasons why I honestly did not want to even think about auditioning for, because it was right across the street. What was your reason for not doing Juilliard, or did you audition? What happened with that?
Gosh, it was so long ago. But I want to say I auditioned for 3 schools, which was Juilliard, Manhattan School of Music, and Mannes. At the time was called Mannes. Now it's called the New School.
Okay.
And I don't know, to honestly answer that question. I knew that Manhattan School of Music was a better fit for me because I felt connected in terms of the curriculum. I was able to be a vocal performance major, but I could minor in piano because I also had piano under my belt. And that was important for me to be well-rounded in that. And I want to say also because I got more scholarship from Manhattan School of Music. I want to say that was the honest answer, is that I got more scholarship money from Manhattan School of Music. And I remember, and I think this is something that I need to talk about, our generation, being a musician or a dancer or any one of the arts, in the arts, that was your hobby. That was not going to be your source of income as far as our parents saw it. Mm-hmm. And yes, they thought I was talented, but they did not think I could earn a living doing it, in music. Okay. And so I was also, because I was good in biology and science, they wanted me to go to Oberlin, which I could be a double major, biology and music. And I remember in my mind saying, I'm going to prove to them that I'm going to be successful. And not only am I going to be successful and support myself, I'm going to at some point be able to support them as well. And that was with those glasses, but that was my goal. That was my inner mantra, that I was
Yes.
going to show my parents that I was going to be a successful musician, successful singer.
I love you.
Yeah, that was my goal.
Well, I think you achieved that. So they must have been so proud to sit front row. We're going to get there. So you finished Manhattan School of Music, graduated. Now that's with your undergrad.
Well, now
Did you
this
ever
is
pursue your doctorate?
yeah, but there's some lumps and bumps that happen. So in my
Okay.
last year of undergrad, I get sick, and for some reason, every time I catch a cold, my glands are swollen and I'm not able to sing. And in my last year of college, where I'm just about ready to get my bachelor's degree in music, I can't sing. I have to have my adenoids and tonsils removed. And then I have to go on vocal rest for almost a year. And when I tell you that was the scariest point in my life, because how do you tell a singer they're not going to sing, or that they should be on vocal rest for a year and no singing?
Right.
And things that I did naturally, I now have to relearn and do technically. So then, to me, it was a curse. But now looking back, it was a blessing in disguise, because I know the voice. I know the insides and outs of this organ. And that's because I had to go through this process. So I did not get my bachelor's degree from Manhattan School of Music. The dean of enrollment was wonderful and let me, do the march through and go through the ceremony. And I want to say my name was even in the program as class of 90, but I never got my degree because I wasn't able to do my jury, which was a performance, which was how I got the degree in vocal performance. You had to perform. You had to do a jury. You had to do a recital.
Yeah. Okay.
And so not being able to do that, I just decided, you know what? I'm not going to be able to do classical music or opera for a while. And I have to figure out what I'm going to do. And through that process, I'm still, as I'm healing and going to therapy, because I'm doing voice therapy and those kind of things to rebuild and come back. I just ventured out into the pop world, and that's how I started touring.
Okay, so
And
I'm a mother and an educator, and I'm sure you did this in the right timeline. From your vocal coaching and voice and trying to get everything back together, and you're auditioning to go and sing in air-conditioned concert halls and such. There was a pause, right? Yeah.
I would say there was not a big pause.
Oh, Yolanda, you're killing me.
Yeah, not a big pause. Yeah,
so
not a big.
You didn't really rest well. Okay.
I'm sorry?
You didn't really rest well. You kind of was working it back and then auditioning at the same time.
Yeah. So here's what happened. I rested. Here's what had happened. No, I had to rest. I couldn't sing. So I had to rest at least for the 6 to 7 months. I did have to rest.
Was that enough?
There was that process that I had to rest. But was it enough to come back as a classical singer or an opera singer? No.
Okay, but as the pop
just
world,
in the pop world or in the gospel world, I could sing.
I got you.
See, in the opera and classical, music, you're singing at like a different, we call them placements. You're singing at a different placement of your voice. And that placement was not strong enough yet after the surgery.
Gotcha.
It took at least 3 or 4 years.
Gotcha. Okay, so now you're in the pop world. How did this happen? Who introduced you? Who gave you your first audition? And yeah.
I never auditioned.
Oh!
I know the glasses. I knew the glasses were coming. I knew the glasses. I knew the glasses were coming. So because we are in, the business, even in at the Guardia, we took it for granted, but we were in a networking environment.
Yes.
Yeah, somebody knew somebody that knew somebody. And that really was how it happened. I, in my healing process, went to it wasn't a club, like a supper club where people would go, artists would go and kind of sing and vibe out. And my girlfriend who was with me, she was just like, oh, my girlfriend sings. She needs to be up on that stage. That friend, I had that.
Those friends. Yes.
And so I was like, girl, what are you about to do right now? You about to embarrass me, And so sure enough, got me up on stage and I just was like, well, I'm going to just sing something. And Freddie Jackson was in the audience. Matter of fact, it was Freddie Jackson and Melissa Morgan.
Girl, shut.
They were in the audience.
Nobody beeped me. My number was 516-252-1616. Nobody said, hey, Dawn, you can be my backup dancer. Nothing. But let's go.
Right. So I sang and, Freddie approached me and said, I'd like you to go on tour with me. How would you like to do that? And, I said, well, I got to talk to my manager. And of course it was the girlfriend. And my first tour, big tour, because I did a couple of dates with Mike Davis when he was signed to Jive Records. And matter of fact, he was the first studio session that I had privy to. And, did a couple of dates with him. But the challenge with that situation was that he was also signed to the same label as R. Kelly. And R. Kelly had just received all his money from, I forget the show that Nally Cole had. I forgot the name of it, but he won all this money. And so he got the recording contract and they invested in R. Kelly over Mike Davis. Now, if you ask me, Mike Davis was the better singer. R. Kelly was the better songwriter. He's a better songwriter. But anyway, it's about what sells product and you'll learn the business as you go. And so, after Mike Davis, it was immediately Freddie Jackson asked me to go on tour. And I was on tour with him for almost 6 months, I guess. And it was Freddie Jackson, Najee, and Melissa Morgan. And it just kind of, I was blessed. I'll say it. I was blessed. I do not take it for granted. I was blessed to be able to sing background vocals for many artists for about 25 years.
Wow.
15 to 25 years. And I did not have to audition. It was just word of mouth. And I sang with the late, great Sean Jamel Crawford, who also went to LaGuardia. And we were the team of singers that were due to all the session work, for the record labels. They would hire us to do background vocals for many of these artists, Faith Evans, Deborah Cox. When you hear these songs, you hear us in the background. That is our voice,
So I have a question about residuals for that. How does that work as a background singer? Or is there just a flat?
If you do it right, you get paid a fee for the session and you get residuals. But if you don't do it right, they just give you a flat fee and you don't get the residuals. And there's been a lot of people that don't get their just due because they didn't understand contracts and how to read them and what they were signing and all that. And it's unfortunate.
Now, do you do a core? I know you do workshops for vocalists, but in part of your workshop, because I'm going to ask people if they want to hire you or whatever, how to contact you later. Is that part of your workshop training contracts, what to do, what not to do?
Yes. I mean, I've done workshops in every subject, from the business of music to vocal technique to marketing and branding yourself as the artist to stage presence. I mean, I've done it all.
Fantastic. A lot of my students dance and sing. So at the end, please, when you give your information, I'm telling my students, contact Lady Yolanda Wyns, please. Good. Okay. And anybody else who's listening. Sorry,
I
not
appreciate
just my students, but seriously, my students. Okay. So it sounds like Kevin, can you show your face, please? He just did this new thing and it just cracks me up. Come on, Kevin, please. He's gonna pop up. He's not gonna do it. Okay. But anyway.
Sorry.
All right. So
Hello.
there you go. Everybody, that's Kevin.
Here. Hello.
Yeah. Anything you want to tell everybody about your how to contact you, Kevin, for your wonderful service?
Yeah, so you can contact me at Kevin, KEVYN at Evolve, EvolveMKTING.com. So yeah, if you need any help with stuff like this or video production or marketing, we got you covered.
Great.
Thank you.
All right. Bye.
Very
Enjoy the show.
We're so professional here, Miss Lady Yolanda. Sorry about that.
I love it.
So we're gonna talk about, what are we doing real quick? Oh. Okay. So you did the background work, then you also, I'm not gonna put them back on, ended up on Broadway. So go. That's all I get. Before we show pictures, let's talk about Broadway. How did that happen?
Doing a workshop. I was doing a workshop on how to audition for a Broadway show. And the show happened to be The Color Purple. I had about 8 clients to come with me to the Apollo, and it was about 1,000 people in there auditioning. And so I was telling them, this is how you do it. You get whatever you have and you work with whatever you have, because everybody got caught up in, oh, I don't have the 8x10 glossy and I don't have a resume. And I said, do you want the gig? You show up with what you have and you market that. You are the product that you're selling. And 6 months later, I received a call back from Telsey Casting to come in. They wanted to see me. And I thought it was a joke. I seriously thought it was a joke. And so if I were to write a book, that would have been a bestseller. Because not only was I showing you how to audition for a Broadway show, I was showing you how to book it.
You better be. I mean, I don't have enough sunglasses. I don't have enough for you. Okay.
Well,
so
I'm gonna say this because I think that your students and your clients need to hear this. Oh, there I am. It's Sophia.
Yeah, Sophia.
Yeah, I was Sophia there in The Color Purple on Broadway for a year and then on tour for about a year and a half.
Wow,
the national
amazing.
tour. But I wanted to
give us the nuggets. Give us the nuggets. You were going to say.
I do want to say this. I studied. I worked hard. I practiced a lot till my parents was like, okay, can you stop for a minute? We want to hear ourselves think. I ate, slept, drank, singing, playing the piano, practicing, working. I did it. I did the grunge work. I was in the shop working. So, and this was technically my first audition ever. And when I went into the audition, it was a learning process for me because I'd never done an audition. So I didn't know all the chatter about who are you? Are you excited? Are you nervous? I hope they like me and all that stuff that happens in an audition, the rat race. I experienced it all, which could help me collect material for my next workshop of what not to do. Because you get caught up in everybody else's story and their nervousness. And before you know it, you're nervous. You walk in there in the audition, you don't know who's auditioning. You don't know what you're auditioning for. You don't know what they're looking for. And so you go in there kind of like cold, willy-nilly, and not prepared. And I can honestly say that I did the work. I prepared myself for the audition. So when I rolled in there, they didn't know what hit them. And I had that confidence because I did the work. And I had the mindset of, if this doesn't work, it just wasn't the right fit. It wasn't that I wasn't good enough. Ooh. It's just that it was not the right fit for me. And that once you change your mindset of, I'm not good enough, I hope they like me and all this other stuff, that clutter that I call it with my clients, you can walk in there with the confidence of, here's what I have to offer. Here's my product. And if you don't know what you're looking for, now you know. And that's the attitude that you have to have walking into these auditions. Otherwise, you're going to make yourself crazy.
Well, I think I found my third. Hold on one second. Erica, if you're watching this, I know you're going, Dawn, we got to ask her. So I'm not going to ask you on camera, but I'm putting together a show, sidebar, called Kids Corner. It's going to air on my Instagram here or Facebook, whatever Kevin has us. I don't know. And they're going to display their talent. It's going to be almost like Fame. All the things we had to do, dance, acting, voice, music. And Erica and I are going to coach these kids. And it's not only kids, it's probably going to be from age 8 to like young adults. And it just sounds to me like God just said, I know you said God didn't say it, but I would love to invite you. I know I said I wasn't going to ask you on air, but I know Erica's going, that's the one. Because we kept saying, who could we get? So don't even answer now, but I'm just putting it into the universe. But amen to everything you just said. A capital men. Okay, I'm sorry. Now back to you. Sorry.
Well, see, when you have that, when you have that mindset, you can get whatever you want. With that mindset, you can get any gig, you can get work. You got to have the right mindset. You can't come into this business with a, I hope they like me mindset.
Amen. Still, do we have any other pictures, Kevin, of her mindset in her Sophia? Could I see the Sophia again, please? Oh, what's this one?
Well, that's me at the Broadway Theater. I think I was doing an interview for The Color Purple. And they took that photo of me in the spotlight.
When they called you for the interview, when they called you, did they tell you what they wanted you to read for or sing for? How did that happen?
Well, this is an interview after I booked the show. This is an interview for a magazine. I want to say that was for Broadway World. But for the actual audition, you just go in and you sing whatever. They say they want to, for this, they asked for a gospel number. And so I sang a gospel number. But then the callback, they did give me a scene to read. And they did have me to come back for a dance, like a movement, a dance call, they call it. And yeah. And I am the actress that moves well. I'll never be dancer, airy thing. Mm-hmm. I love to dance and move, but the moment you start counting to me, it's like I'm them other people. I can't.
Yeah. No,
I can't. Don't count to me.
Okay. I was gonna ask
But
you to do like
yeah,
those
but
back
for
dance.
well, there was, a shout out to Jamal Story, who was our dance captain for the show. Dancer extraordinaire, but he was also for the layman like me. And I took him to the side and I said, "Look here, I move, I dance, I love to dance, I love a good house party. I'm the house queen, but count at me, I'm not going to get this." And I remember the dance call. He was like, "And pay the bell, pay the bell, pay the bell, and turn around, turn around." And he actually did that, and that helped me, to book the gig. And I'm going to tell you, I was like a fish out of water when I booked the show because I didn't do musical theater. I was on tour and on the road. I sang. That's what I did, sang.
Right.
So now you're telling me, I want you to go stage left or upstage, backstage, or, this was a whole new experience for me. And the choreography that you learn on stage, there's choreography backstage so that you don't hurt yourself. There may be a prop or a scrim coming out, and if you don't have the right choreography, you can hurt yourself. So, and then this particular theater had a turntable that moved separately from the stage. And if you didn't know how to use all these things, I mean, this was a crash course for me. And I originally booked the gig as one of the church ladies. They didn't ask me to do any leads. It was just the church ladies to cover, because the first show was about a year in already. LaChance had won the Tony, and they were going to start the tour. And so they were looking for the new cast to work with Fantasia in The Color Purple. And I was asked to be the swing because I wound up covering all the parts, all of the female parts they asked me to cover. And then one day I was like, "Lord, I don't want to be schizophrenic. I can't remember everybody at one time." And da 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 da. Long story short, one of the original ensemble folk called out sick, and I took over the role of one of the church ladies. And then the director of the show asked me to read for him for Sophia, in the role of Sophia. And I thought, oh God, now he's going to ask me to act. I really don't act like that. I act up, but I don't, act. And,
but he saw something in you and your professionalism and something that he knew you could handle.
I was trained from my parents. You don't go without a fight. I hired acting coach Tracy Moore Maribel, Tracy Moore, and I knew that she transitioned a lot of singers, rappers into actors, like Eve. I think Busta Rhymes is on her list. So she was the one that I sought after to help me, and she helped me book the gig. I did the work. A lot of the young people today just want to be famous and don't want to put in the work. You got to put in the work. That's how you have longevity, putting in the work. And the story about the Fantasia, with Color Purple, when I got the call back after doing this workshop, I realized Fantasia was going to be doing the Color Purple. And I said, now I'm a vocal coach at this time. I said, you know what? I need to coach Fantasia because she's coming out of The Voice. No shade. She's coming out of The Voice. And she had a talent, but she wasn't ready for no 8 shows a week. 8 shows a week singing that hard material, you're not going to last. And sure enough, she had to call out quite a bit because she wasn't vocally prepared to do 8 shows a week. Some days is 2 days a week. Some days is 2 days. So, say for instance, the schedule is Tuesday through Saturday. You'll do 2 shows on Saturday and 2 shows on Wednesday. There's a matinee and an evening show. So there's a lot there. Excuse me, there's a lot there. So I'm, I said I was going to coach her. I still didn't think I was going to book Color Purple. I'm still thinking I'm going to coach Fantasia as the vocal coach. And God said, I'm not through with your talent. Because at this point, I had stopped with the background vocals. I had started my own company coaching, and that's what I was doing for record labels, coaching the new clients, because there was no such thing anymore as artist development or A&R, And so they would put me, the record companies, the labels would put me on retainer to coach their up-and-coming new signed artists. And that's really what I thought my purpose was supposed to be with Color Purple. And God was like, no, I'm not finished with your talent. And when I told Fantasia this story, because I never got to coach her, when I told her this story, she goes, oh, well then I need a coach. I need you to coach me. And we had like 1 coaching session or maybe 2. But the point is, I had a plan and God had another one.
Yes. Amen. So do you have any photos here with Fantasia
I think Kevin just showed one with me and Fantasia outside of the theater.
Oh, I thought is that it? Oh,
yeah, that's it.
Wow. Okay, so I can't with you. Okay, so we have Manhattan School of Music, backup singers for years, traveling all over the world. You were a background vocalist you were paid up front, plus you got residuals. Then you went with your class to an audition to show them how to audition, and then you ended up booking the gig. And then you were supposed to be just the background church lady, but no, you ended up then being a swing, and then you were, I got to go to break after this, Sophia in The Color Purple that you did on Broadway and tours. I'm about tired. I can't keep up. Kevin, give me a break. Let's go to another commercial. Lady Yolanda, sheesh, commercial.
Tonight's episode is sponsored by the following: TGI Virtual Fundraiser for Student Achievement Institute. Help them send 10 high school seniors to the program to help improve their college entrance exams, gain confidence, and strengthen their writing skills. Please donate GoFundMe/TGI Writing Fund. Next sponsors, All Things Centered, visiting allthingscentered.com and choose from a variety of essential oil blends. Good for headaches, allergies, stress, and better moods. Get ready for your holiday shopping and order your foot scrubs and bath soaks for your favorite people in your life. Taking orders now at allthingscentered.com. Use code DANCE for free shipping. That's Entertainment. That's Entertainment is excited to celebrate 20 years this 2020 season. They are a competition and convention offering live and virtual events for dancers, singers, actors, models, and instrumentalists. By tuning in with Dawn Branch Live, you will receive a free virtual solo or $200 off your studio when you email info@that'sentertainmentpa.com with the code DBL20. Stephanie Mills presents Girls Night Out, a virtual vision board fundraiser party with special guest Melba Moore. Proceeds will benefit 444 Love Foundation. This special event is Saturday, December 12th. Info and tickets available at www.444love.org. InStyle Performance Wear is offering 25% off on all hair accessories. These are great for stocking stuffers, gifts, and of course, for classes and performances. Don't forget, Dawn Branch Works presents Winter Dance Intensive 2020 for levels intermediate and advanced, ages 11 and up. This event is Monday, December 28th and Tuesday, December 29th. From 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at Peaches Dance and Music Orlando.
We are back with 15 minutes of fame and Lady Yolanda Wyns. We are just out of time. You're gonna kill me, but I can't let you go without you talking about where you are now. So briefly, Kevin, if you can just put up the pictures of Harlem School of the Arts, and Miss Yolanda, if you could just tell us briefly about how that happened and where you are now and where you're going in the future with HSA.
Sure. So after touring, living out of a suitcase, barely home, thinking, you know what, I'm about to be in my late 40s. I want to settle down and have a family. All of those things. I had now done this about in the business of touring and a culmination of about 25 years, 25 years. I was trying to figure out what my plan act 2 was going to be, plan B was going to be. And I knew that I didn't want to tour anymore, but I didn't know what the next thing was going to be. And in the process of passing up gigs, I was recommending other singers to do work. And I was running out of singers. So in that process, I said, you know what? I don't want to recommend somebody I don't know. This is how the coaching began, the workshops began. I'm training folk to send them to work.
Right.
And for example, there's Daniel Watts. He's one of my clients, and he, before the pandemic, he played Ike Turner in Tina, the musical, and Daniel Watts and I worked together in the ensemble of The Color Purple. That's how we met. And he was a dancer, and he wanted to transition from dancer to singer and do these lead roles, and sought my help, and there he is. But there's my student, Way McDonald. She was a student of HSA and my vocal student, and she wanted to audition for The Voice. So she did, and we worked together, and through the whole process of The Voice, we worked together. And you see, I'm in the corner there because we were FaceTiming. Little did we know that was like now what was going to happen, the virtual learning. And so we were doing between Skype and FaceTiming sessions before she would go on stage. And thankfully, she was third place. I forget which season, but on The Voice. And she's doing well now. She's recording artist. Yes. Shout out to Way McDonald, doing big things. So look out for her. But well, thank you. And so for me, teaching, mentoring was the next thing I was doing in my vocal coaching company through Y Wyns Entertainment. That's my little plug. And I wanted children. And being a career woman, it wasn't in the cards for me to naturally have a child anymore. And I know after I went through all of that depression and sadness and all those things, and forgiving myself and letting it go and surrendering to the here and now of saying, you know what, I'm open to adopting. I'm open to foster mom. I'm open to other ways, godmother. I'm open to other ways in nurturing a child. And Judith Insel, who also graduated from music and art, she was viola major. She and I went to also the Manhattan School of Music, to college, and she was then the music director at HSA. And she hired me on the spot to teach the choir. She said, "Oh, we have a choir that we're developing, and I want you to teach the choir. So I said, well, let's set up a meeting for me to meet the kids and see if we're the right fit, whatever. And I walked in there and it was only like
Kevin
6
Smith.
girls. And Way McDonald was the first student in there. So that's how me and Way met. She was one of those 4
Kevin,
girls.
Can you show some more pictures? Oh,
Oh, Kevin is
okay.
Thank you, Kevin. www.wideworldentertainment.com. That's me. Yeah, well, this is my international student. This is Thelma. She is a universal recording artist in Japan.
Okay.
And she's doing well. So these are my clients. This is another student. She was one of the 4 girls that was in that class. This is Ayana Smash, who booked Rent on tour, the national tour, and not just ensemble. No, Miss Honey got Mimi, the role of Mimi, on tour before the pandemic. So literally the pandemic happened and things closed down. This is us, girl. And Erica.
So let me just shout out first. Remember we talked about support? You weren't on yet, but I was telling everybody about supporting, and this is an example. So I had an idea of a play that I do. It's called Eden. My girlfriend Erica is there. Hope she's watching. She says, hey, Dawn, let's go visit Yolanda. Well, actually, that's not the truth. But if I call Erica and say, come with me. So, yeah. So Erica supported me on my journey to meet Yolanda, who was so nice enough to introduce me to Aubrey, who then hit the next picture. Introduced me. Look what God did. Look, what's the next picture? Look, the daggone president. So remember, okay, that's Mr. Eric Pryor. So Yolanda, I'm sitting in there with my girlfriend Donna, because she came to support. Shout out to Donna. Erica, and you saw Mr. Pryor walk by. You said, let me go get him. I was like, don't bother that man. Do you remember that? And you were like, girl, he's nice. And you went in, yes, and he was so nice. And he gave the support. He gave the green light that if I wanted to do Eden at HSA, I could. And Aubrey was down. He had never met me. Aubrey never met me. This man never met me. That because of you and how they believed in you and your talent, here come the tears, that they trusted me with your confidence in me. So I say thank you once again, Lady Yolanda.
Absolutely. That's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to encourage one another, support one another, pull each other up. There's room for everybody. Everybody has a calling to do something. And if we get caught in, I don't want her to have because I might not have, it's really not a good look. It's ugly.
So I just wanted to publicly, once again, thank you and everyone at HSA for opening their arms to a stranger. And
absolutely.
So thank you, Erica and Donna, for coming with me. Okay, what's the next?
They're those friends for you.
I didn't hear you. What'd you say?
I said, they are those friends for you. Like I had my friend that pushed me up on the stage. Erica and Donna, is that they are those friends. Put you up. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And that's us. Yay.
That's us at HSA.
So that was the old building. So real quick, because I'm in overtime already. I know Kevin's like, I gotta go. But real quick, tell us briefly about the new school and what's going on and how they can locate you, how you're doing everything virtually.
Right. So it's the same school. We just had it renovated. We didn't move into a new building, although it's gorgeous. So we got a wonderful grant from Herb Albert Foundation, $9.5 million grant to rebuild the building. And so the folks that the architect and the contractors that did the now called the Appel Room for Jazz at Lincoln Center did our space. And so they opened up the brick wall of the building and created this glass space. So you can see into what's going on in the school and see the children working. Of course, we're in a pandemic, so we're praying that this can just go real quickly so that we can get the kids safely back into the building for classes. Right now, where everything is virtual and remote via Zoom, group classes, and private lessons. But we are open for business. You can reach us at www.hsanyc.org for any class. It's for students of all ages. We start as young as 18 months. We have the discovery of music, which is like a parent in me. I used to say mommy and me, but then when I saw all the men coming in with their kids, I was like, I can't say mommy and me. So
Right.
parent in me. And then we have classes for the early childhood, 4 to 6 year olds. We have classes for middle schoolers, 7 to 11 year olds. We've got classes for teenagers, 12 to 17. And then we have young adult programs also. Private lessons are for all ages. You know, that parent that says, you know, I'm sitting around waiting for Johnny. Maybe I'll take a class myself. And that's exactly what happens.
Awesome. Thank you so much for all of your information and your time. You are a beautiful soul.
My pleasure.
a
Thank you for the
talented soul,
invitation.
a friend. And Delva, you're coming on this show whether you like it or not. Kevin, thank you so much for all that you do. I'm sorry we went over. Everyone who's watching, thanks again for continuing to tune in. Next week, hang in there. We have Sean Baker Jones. I know he's going to be mad I said the whole name, but we have him. He was the original tap dance kid, and he's also a famous actor in LA. So stay tuned for him. Yolanda, you rock. Thank you guys so much, and I'll see you. These glasses are for the lady, Yolanda Wyns.
Thank you so much, Dawn, for having me. Thank you for the invitation.
You're welcome. I love you. Keep shining. Love you.
Absolutely.
Bye, guys. See you next week.